This morning I am in Stone Mountain, Georgia in the lovely community of Smoke Rise, and I just love coming to estate sales over here. It's just beautiful. The houses are pretty, they have such nice big yards, and it's just so pretty and so quiet. Love it. Lots of cars. It's the last day of this sale, so let's see if we can find a place to park. Hopefully it will be a discount day. I'm going to attempt to parallel park. Wish me luck. I did it. I parallel parked on the first try. I'm so proud of myself. I'm a little bit far away from the curb, but I think it's going to be okay. Let's go inside and see if I can find anything to help me restock my antique booth. My budget is $20 today, so let's see what I can accomplish. I am going to this estate sale specifically to see if I can find this teapot. I just love how it sort of looks like a tree stump, and the little handle on top looks like a tree stump. I don't know, I'm obsessed with this teapot, so I'm gonna look to see if it's still here. And then there was another picture of teapots where I like the one on the front left, the navy blue one. So I'm also gonna look to see if that one is here and how much they want for them. Look at this groovy looking children's record player. The top is rather worn. It is priced at $65, but everything is 75% off today. I'm just in love with that design. Moving right along, here's some pretty Asian cups. Not sure why they have lids. And some pretty clear glass. These are lovely at $4 each. Look at this cookie jar. Now that is a vintage, 75, but it would be 75% off. He's got a bunch of damage on his little face. Let's see. I'm looking for, oh look, little 70s pizza slicer. So I like vintage cookie cutters, and I look for the ones with either the wooden handle or the metal handle, and those don't have them. This is Pyrex little storage container, but there's only one of them. It should have a whole set. This is a Fireking Hobnail milk glass planter. It can also be used in the oven. I'm not sure what you would use it for. And then I have spotted some Fiesta. Here is a adorable sugar bowl. Bad chip there on the rim of it, on the lid, and it has the Fiesta embossed stamp on the bottom. It's in pretty rough shape though. Here is some turquoise Fiesta in better shape. Oh, this bowl is also has a huge fracture in it and a chip. I love the turquoise color though. I'm probably gonna get the turquoise and the milk glass hobnail. These are Limoges 22 karat gold, warranted. It looks inlaid, isn't that lovely? These are pretty, they're Mikasa, and the pattern is Olive Grove. They want $95 for this entire set of dishes, but 75% off that. Here's a set of Stetson china. I had to Google lens these to find out what they were. $325 for the set, and there's no mark on the bottom of the cups, but these are the Tiffany pattern. Over here on the bar, I like this set. This is Decor stoneware, and I just like the look of it. Look at this beautiful desk. If I was in the market for furniture, I would definitely consider this. It's just lovely, sturdy. I bet you it's heavy. There's some vintage books over here. I'm not really feeling any more books right now. I haven't been selling many books. Some Knotty pine rustic furniture, $125, and a boat. That's $40. I kind of like this nightstand with the enamel top on it. $95 for the discount. It's a pretty little piece of pottery. It appears to be signed. It almost looks like it was signed with a Sharpie. Looks like Native American pottery. Pretty. Some more stuff over here. Oh, look at this scrapbook. And it was gifted to someone in 1983, so it's inscribed. This is cute. Oh, I really like this one. The little mouse on it. Snaps and scraps. Again, it was a gift from the same person. So it would just be $2.50 with a discount. I'm going to get this. Heading into the bathroom, apparently this little owl brush holder is quite valuable because they want $45 for him. Okay, I got out of there for less than $20. I brought cash so that I didn't have to pay a credit card fee. When I get home, I will show you what I got at that sale. I'm back at home and it is the next day. The first thing that I should address is that I went in there really hoping that that teapot that looked like almost like a tree stump was still going to be there. It looked like a Yule log to me, especially the little handle on the top. It was just the cutest thing. Unfortunately, it was gone, but the blue one in the photo that I also really liked was there. So I did get this. When I looked this up, Google told me that this was Otagiri, which is a desirable brand of Japanese stoneware. This with the discount was just $2.50 and it should sell for between $22 and $24. So this is just lovely. It does appear to have a hairline fracture in the lid and a little chip on the underside of the lid, which you can't really see. I would assume that whoever buys this is going to use this for display purposes only, but I will mark on the price tag what the two little problems are that it has. So there's that. I did decide to get the Fireking Hobnail milk glass planter. It was clearly used as a planter. It's dirty on the inside. I've already run this through the dishwasher once, but I need to soak this and wash it by hand. It does have the Fireking embossed stamp on the bottom. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see that because of the color, the white color. I've also seen this described as ovenware, and I'm just not sure what would you make in this in the oven. If you know the answer to that question, please let me know in the comments. Milk glass is still really hot, at least in my area of the country, and people who shop in our store really like it. Recently, I bought one of these vases in the smaller size. This is an FTD vase, so it's a florist vase. And I recently bought one that was more this size, but in this pattern. So before I price this, I need to find out how much I put on my smaller one. In the booth, I'm thinking I will put 18 on this. I really like it. I'm sure a lot of people would say because it's FTD, it doesn't have any value, but I don't really agree with that. I just really like it. It's nice and heavy and substantial, and I really like the pattern, the vine that's running up and down. If my smaller one is still there, I will probably display it with this one, and I'll add either a colored glass to it or I'll add a milk glass vase in the vignette to make it look really nice. All right, this one didn't look like anything, but apparently it is. I could make out on the bottom that it looked like it said Europe on the bottom. It actually says Europa. So this is a vintage Europa bud vase, probably from the 1970s to 1980s, and it was just 50 cents, and this should sell for $12. When I see cat stuff, I almost always get it. This cute little spoon rest looks very 80s to me. It was just 50 cents and it should sell for $8. Spoon rests sell really well, and anything with a cat on it sells really well too. So the scrapbook. Look at the cover on this. Isn't it just the cutest thing? When I saw it, I thought for sure this was 1970s. And it is. When you look at the copyright, this is a Hallmark and it says copyright 1979, and it was given to whatever child lived in that house as a gift in 1983. I'm kind of kicking myself for not buying the other one with the animal print on the front. And I'm also kicking myself for not getting that Native American little pottery vase. I was really trying to stick to my $20 budget though, and I've never sold a vintage scrapbook before, so I really don't know what to expect. I've sold a couple of vintage photo albums before and they sold pretty well. Anyway, I was trying to stick to that budget, and so I didn't get the other one. I probably should have. This one has all of its pages, and so it's never been used. And then underneath the scrapbook, it makes me sad when I find this kind of stuff, but there was a bunch of greeting cards underneath, and they're really cool. This one's really cool and vintage looking. I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do with the cards yet because they have writing on them. I don't know if they would sell or not, although vintage postcards sell and they have writing on them, so I don't know. Let me know. What do you think I should do with the greeting cards? The scrapbook was $2.50, and I will price it at between $16 and $18. All right, I got this black box with the butterflies on it. I was seeing this described online as Japanese inspired, and I'm pretty sure that this is 1980s Art Deco. I just love everything about it, and butterflies are always a hot seller in our store. This was $2, and I will put $16 on this. So really cool, especially for adults who come in the store and just really love the 80s. The 80s are popular right now, like it or not. They are, and I think that that box will sell really well. Here is an old cowbell. I'm not sure how old. I'm not sure if it's an antique or just vintage or primitive. I saw someone describing one that looked just like this online as a primitive. It does ring. I don't want that to be too loud on the video, but with the discount it was just $2, and I will put between $14 and $16 on this. I got 2 vintage wooden Christmas ornaments. During Christmas, I have a small tree in my booth, and I really like for my tree to have wooden ornaments on it, the vintage ones. And 2 Christmases ago, all of my vintage ornaments sold, and so I'm really looking to restock. So these were just 25 cents a piece, and they will sell for $5 or $6 in the booth. This was in the kitchen, and it is a made in the USA pastry blender. This was just 50 cents, and this should sell for $10 for no problem. The times where I have used these in my life, I was using it to cut cold butter into a recipe, into some flour to make a pie crust. But anyway, that's what I used it for, and these can be hard to find, the nice sturdy ones. This is one of those things where they just don't make them like they used to. All right, let's move on to Fiesta. Now, I love Fiesta, and one of the reasons I love it so much is because I love things that are colorful, so I just like color. And this Fiesta is the old stuff. It's older. This is 1930s Fiesta, at least based on what I'm seeing online. There was a time recently where I downloaded a chart to help me be able to identify which Fiesta stamps were the older ones and which ones were the newer ones. This, I'm pretty sure, is an older one. And the Fiesta at this sale was just so banged up. That sugar bowl, that yellow sugar bowl was just fabulous, but it just was so banged up, and that made me sad. When I got home, I did notice that this one has the tiniest chip on the rim. I don't think that's a huge problem, but I will point it out. And I haven't washed this yet, but I'm really hoping that whatever this is comes out. It almost looks like candle wax, the way it's reflecting off the light. I hope this comes out. I think it will. It was sort of coming off with my fingernail. So the green set was $2.75 for the set, and this should sell for between $18 and $20. Even with the tiny little chip on the cup. This one is the same age, and It is the cobalt blue. It's almost purple. It's just such a lovely color. There was no saucer on this one. It also has a tiny, tiny chip on the rim. It was $2 and I will put $9 on this. I just really love Fiesta, and even though it's not as hot as it was in recent years, I just still think it's fabulous, and when I find it in good shape, I will continue to buy it because our customers like it too. All right, that's it except for cat of the day. Look at this guy. He is wearing a costume, a pizza costume. So let's see what it says on the catwalk. But really, why don't more of us dress up as our favorite food? Fuzzy Leo from Willowbrook, Illinois isn't afraid to declare his love for a loaded slice, though some of his fellow Chicagoans might take umbrage at the pizza not being deep dish. His human, Jennifer Robertson, says, Leo is a 23-pound fluffy cat. Oh my goodness, 23 pounds. Oh goodness, that's really heavy. Who acts more like a dog than a cat. He fetches, loves to cuddle, and of course loves his food and treats. Hopefully Leo's not eating too much pizza, because at 23 pounds, that's very overweight for a kitty and it's not healthy. You can't really tell because he's wearing the costume, but the costume is obscuring how big he is. Alright, well, I hope you found today's video enjoyable and valuable, both in the shopping trip to the estate sale and just in the information I was able to provide during the haul. If you have any insights into any of the things that I wasn't sure about, please let me know in the comments. And if you enjoy this type of content, please give the video a like, leave me a comment, and subscribe to the channel so that you will continue to see more videos. I'm trying to put out 2 videos every week, one midweek and then one on the weekend. Well, thank you so much for joining me today, and as always, I look forward to seeing you again in the next video.